Hi, Scott Weaver from Factory Direct Designers Workroom. Today we're going to go over open neck swags and how to overlap your open neck swags and figuring out how wide of a swag you need to fit the pole that you want it to go on. So the first thing we have to understand is, what is an overlap? Well, an overlap is when you have more than one swag and you want them to overlap each other, such as this. So why is that important? Well, if you have more than one swag, then you have to overlap them. Otherwise, if you don't, and you bring it over here, you have no coverage in the middle, which means that you see your window frame, you see your moldings, and etc., things that you don't want to see. And if you have to have a center bracket, also, you would see the center bracket. So it's important to understand that you do need an overlap, or you need a chevron on this, something that's going to cover the middle. So in this case, to determine that, you first have to go back to the original swag that you scooped out. Now, if you go back to my previous videos, you will see that I took a regular swag and I just took a pencil and I lightly marked around here. And then I took my scissors and I cut it away a 1/2 inch away from this pleat to give me my sewing allowance. Then I sewed it, etc. Now this is a swag pattern that you can find on my website, factorydirectdesignersworkroom.com, and it can easily be converted to an open neck swag if you'd like to. However, you might have your own pattern, and that's fine. So to determine the overlap, you have to look at the pleating area. And then you have to look at your neck size. What really determines the overlap is your pleating area. So when you have your swag pleated, you have to look at this area, and say this area is 12 inches, then you know your overlap is going to be 12 inches. In this case, by the time I sew it, it's about 13 inches. Having know that, now you have to figure out how many overlaps you're going to have. Well, if you're using 2 swags, then you need 1 overlap. If you have 3 swags, you need 2 overlaps. If you have 4 swags, you have 3 overlaps. So what you do is you take however many swags you want, and then you deduct 1 swag and you get your overlap. 5 swags, 4 overlaps. Okay? And so on and so forth. Now, in this case, we're talking about 13 inches. So let's take a calculator and figure this out. I'm going to say we have a 110-inch pole that we want to cover, and we're using 3 swags. So we're going to take our 110 inches. 3 swags is 2 overlaps. Our overlap is 13 inches. Each swag is going to take 13 inches. Okay, 2 overlaps. So you take your 110 and give it 2 overlaps. 13 is 26. So then you take plus 26 inches. You have 136 inches, and you're going to divide that number by the number of swags, which in this case is 3, divided by 3. You're going to come out with a 45.33 inch swag, say 45.5 inch wide swag is what you would need. Let's take another instance. You have a 80-inch pole that you want to cover. You're going to use 2 swags, like what you see right here. 2 swags, you have 1 overlap, 1 13-inch overlap. You're going to take your 80 inches, which is your pole size, plus your 13 inches. You're going to come out with 93 inches, and you're going to divide that by 2. Each swag has to be 46.5 inches to cover an 80-inch area. So I hope that kind of clarifies a little bit about the overlap. And the next video up will be how to sew these together. And the way I do it is I use Velcro on one side, a little facing on the other side. Maybe you'll have a better technique. But hopefully that clarifies things. Thank you for watching. Scott Weaver with Factory Direct Designers Workroom.